So our desire for affection, freedom, economic security emanate from the neglected part of ourselves that actually want to live, feel and be acknowledged. Now, what are those neglected parts of ourselves? So we'll cover that in a later program, in a later session. But specifically I'm talking about here a body of work that's known as the psychology of the selves. So we are just not one self. We are many selves. So some of those selves are primary, and they're the ones that we access most every day. And most of those selves are actually what they call undeveloped, or suppressed, or unacknowledged, or undeveloped. And there's a whole bunch of words that, disowned. There's a whole bunch of words that describes them. It's not that they go away and just be quiet and sit in a dark cupboard and not annoy you. It's because they are disowned that they're going to find a way to express their disownedness or their desire, because each self has its own individuality. Each self has its own language. Each self has its own strengths and weaknesses. Each self has its own role to play. Each self has its own creativity. Each self has its own intuition. Each self. So they are independent of each other. So it's the neglected part of ourselves that want to live and feel. So it's the neglected part of you, it's the neglected parts of you that wants to actually live your dreams. But it's the parts of you that are primary that is dictating what you do. And those primary selves have been conditioned or socially engineered by the dominant society within which you live. And so they are primary, the other ones are secondary. So it's the primary cells. And so you start to get a few of these other cells to step up and play a bigger game. They are disowned, so you can't reach them, although they could be your lifesaver. Without relationships, it's difficult to get what you want. And, without relationships in money, without relationships at work, without relationships with children and partners and other people, we're a social animal. So it's really difficult to get what you want. And often there's a sense of, or a feeling of incompleteness. And so what will you do if you actually have that feeling or that sense of incompleteness? What will you do with money? Try to fill it. But the incompleteness is external, and you're going to try to fill it from external. It never works. So there's always this void there of incompleteness. The basics of our social education system is interactions with others. We receive little training in how to effectively deal with our emotional selves. Because we receive little training, we're absolutely driving blind, and they affect every single relationship we have. Money is just a form of relationship. So psychotherapist Loy Young notes that drama, be it tragedy or comedy, is what our feelings thrive on. Why? It's because we've never been taught anything else. So if we go to Bhutan, for example, where their gross domestic product is happiness, do you think their feelings have been socially engineered differently to a society like ours, where the major feeling is based on drama, unhappiness? Because if you're unhappy, then that actually promotes the economy, because now you have to buy everything that you have to buy, every dollar that you have to spend, every dollar that you earn to buy happiness.